Hello, my name's Katie. Welcome back to my channel, and I've got the snuggliest thing on in the world because I don't care, I am cold. So it is first impressions time, which is my favourite time of the month. Yay. I've got all of this makeup here that I'm gonna try out and I'm so excited. So I brought from Superdrug and I brought from nyxcosmetics.co.uk. So that's where all of the makeup I got this month is from, and I'm excited. Let's get some stuff on my face. Okay, so I do have some eyeshadow products, so that means I will start with me eyelids. So the first thing I'm going to use actually is the NYX Full Coverage Concealer. This one is in the shade Alabaster and it's like a pot concealer. I have also got a few other NYX concealers that I'm going to use in this video, but I've kind of got too many to try for one face, so I figured I'd use this one as like a primer on my eyelids, because I don't know if anyone else feels this, but I feel like pot concealers are just really good for like eyelid primers. Like two other ones that I use a lot is like this Freedom Pro Camouflage one that comes in a pot, and also the Rimmel Lasting Finish one that comes in a pot. I don't know, I just feel like the kind of consistency of those type of concealers tend to just work good as like bases. Obviously I will at some point try this out like just as a regular concealer on my face, but I've got some other concealers to use in this video, so I figured let's just use this one on my eyes. The reason why I brought a lot of NYX concealers as well, because I'm not sure how long ago it was, but they released some like new shades on their website. I don't think they're on Boots yet, which is kind of one of the reasons why I got it straight off their website, because the shades are available there. Obviously I think they had like porcelain shades of like some of their concealers, but they just were never good enough for my skin because I'm so pale, but they have shades called Alabaster in this one, and also their other concealer, I think it's their HD Studio Photogenic. I'll talk about it shortly, so I'll get the name right then. Yeah, but they had new Alabaster shades, so I thought I'd try them to see if they are good for my skin tone. So enough rambling about this little pot of concealer. Let's try it on our eyelids, and I think I'll just use my finger and do a good smearing. From first impressions, I do quite like the look of the colour of this. It's very like yellowy toned, which is good for me because I'm more yellow toned. And also if you're putting like a kind of yellowy toned concealer on your eyelids, that's gonna kind of counteract the light purple, so that's good. Yeah, so far this seems good. Yeah, I do really like the shade of this. If you want to like compare the two eyes, as you can see, coverage of this is actually pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that, and I really like the shade. I'll use my sponge to like pat it in a little bit more, but I'll just do the other eye first. I'm using a wet sponge, so that does tend to kind of take away the coverage of things a little bit. Pretty happy with that as a primer. Right, I'm just going to use any old powder to set them down because I kind of want to leave my first impressions of the powder for when I'm actually using it as my base. So I'm just using a collection powder that I've had a while, and I'm just going to set my eyelids. So I didn't get any eyeshadow palettes, but I did get like a few kind of single eyeshadow products from NYX, so I'll just talk you through them. So I decided to get another one of their pigments because I've used some of their pigments before and really liked them. This one is number 10 and it's called Insomnia, and it's like a limey green colour. So when I clicked on the pigments, it was like the first one that kind of came up, and it just immediately caught my eye. I don't know, but this colour just really appealed to me, and it is very nice. Can you, yep, are you focused on that? Cool. Yeah, it's a really like limey green colour. I don't know, it just appealed to me, so I decided to get it. So I've got a bunch of their like little mono eyeshadows. Got two of the prismatic eyeshadows. This one is 01 Frostbite, and this is like an icy white colour. I'll just get it out. That's what that one looks like. It looks absolutely stunning. It's just a really like kind of glimmery white icy colour. It's very pretty. The other prismatic eyeshadow I got is in 23 Dark Swan, and this is like a purpley coloured one. Actually swatches like amazing. Like I swatched it when I like first got my package delivered, and it was very intense. I'm really excited to try this one. It's also a beautiful colour. I got 3 of the nude matte eyeshadows. This one is in the shade Corvette, number 13, and this one's like a kind of khaki green colour. That's what that one looks like. I really like this colour. It's just very khaki. I don't know, I thought I could make an interesting look with a colour like this, but yeah, that's what it looks like. Another one of the nude matte shadows I got is in the shade Beyond Nude, number 33, and this is like a dark green colour. Dark green is one of like my favourite colours, so this just stood out to me. It's really nice. This is literally my favourite colour. Last one is in 07 Trist, and I got this one because I thought it'd make a good contour shade, because I do want to do a full face of NYX very soon, and I kind of needed like a bronzer or a contour or something to use to warm up my face, and this is literally like the perfect shade for me. It's a very like cool toned light brown. This basically looks like the perfect colour to contour and kind of also warm up my face a bit, so I'm glad that I picked this one up. Obviously I was like looking at them online and was kind of just like guessing, but this was a good find. And I also got one of the Hot Singles eyeshadows, and this one's in 59 Psychedelic, and it's a neon yellow. I've wanted a neon yellow for a while because there's like a makeup look that I was doing a while ago and it really needed a neon yellow. I don't know why, it just needed it. But yeah, this is definitely like a full-on neon yellow colour. It's super pretty. I really like it. I think this one was on sale as well, which was also another one of the reasons I got it. It's kind of a bit of a random selection of colours here. I just kind of wanted to go for some things that like I didn't really have a lot of. And also these are like magnetic ones. I have got one of the Freedom magnetic palettes, but I think it might be full, so I'm not sure if I'm going to actually be able to get these in there. I might have to get a new magnetic palette. So basically I've got a lot of colours here, and I don't know what kind of look I want to do because these colours are all over the place. Let's start basic. I'm going to use a kind of contoury coloured one called Trist, and start by just putting this one through my crease. It feels really like soft and nice, and it's also quite pigmented, as you can see there. I probably won't swatch all of these, but yeah, that's what it comes out like. There is pigmented. Using a Zoeva Luxe Soft Crease Brush, and I'm just gonna, well, first I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Just getting a bit of this on my brush and plopping it for the crease, because I don't know where this look's gonna go, to be honest. But we might as well start off with something basic. They are very like kick-uppy, which I don't mind too much, but I know a lot of people hate that. Pretty good eyeshadow. Happy with that. This is probably going to be the messiest look in the world. I think I'm going to get the khaki shade called Corvette, I don't know. I'm going to get this shade, and I think I'll bring that one through my crease as well, but a little bit underneath what I've already done. Again, this one's also got a lot of kickback, but it's also getting a lot of product on the brush, so that should mean it's pretty pigmented. Let me actually do a little swatch first. Yeah, that one is pretty pigmented. I mean, it's not like super bam, but there's definitely pigment there. I'm just bringing this kind of underneath what I've done. Okay, I'm gonna go in with Beyond Nude, a dark green colour, and I think what I'm gonna do with this. I'm gonna pack this in kind of like the outer third area. That's how that one comes out. It's got some good pigment. I feel like this one would probably need a little bit of building. I mean, obviously there's a lot of pigment there, but I think it's kind of one of those shadows that probably needs to be built up a bit. Yeah, I don't feel like this one shows up quite as well on the lid. I'm going with my finger after I initially put this on with the brush. Okay, I'm just going in with some more of the khaki shade and see if I can slightly blend this. Yeah, I think you have to be a bit careful with that green colour because it kind of can like blend away a bit, so that's why I'm bringing quite light here. Okay, I'm going to go in with the one that I'm most excited, which is Dark Swan, which is the prismatic purple one. We'll use my finger for this and just pat this in the centre. This one I know is intense. I mean, look at that, that's amazing. That is amazing. I love that purple shadow. Yes. Okay, I'm going to get the other prismatic shade called Frostbite, the icy white one. And I'm going to put some of this under my brow bone. This shade works super well under the brow bone. It's so shimmery and white. I think I'll leave the eyeshadow at that for now. Yeah, it looks a little bit of a mess, but this is what happens when I try eyeshadows for the first time. I've not used the glitter pigment or the neon yellow shade. Maybe I'll try them out on my lower lash line when we get to that point, or in my inner corner. I don't know. We'll just see where it goes. But obviously I've tried some of the shadows there. My favourites would be the one that I use under my brow bone, the Frostbite, the white colour. The purple shade that's on my centre, NYX one. That one is super pigmented, really impressed with that. I would say like the khaki colour and the dark green colour, they're not super wow intense pigmented. They can blend away a little bit, which isn't ideal. I think they're workable, but you just need a bit of patience with them. The one that was a contour shade came out really well though. I like this one, and obviously I'll see what it's like as a contour later. So next I'll try out some pencil liner on my waterlines. The one that I got is the Boudoir Paris Ombre Smoky eyeshadow and liner. Eyeshadow? There's an eyeshadow in this? So it comes with like a kind of stylo black liner, and then it's also got this kind of like smudgy bit at the bottom. I mean, I don't think it's an eyeshadow. Is it an eyeshadow? I have no idea. I thought this was just something that you use to like smudge out your liner. Yeah, there's definitely not eyeshadow coming out of it, so yeah. I actually quite like these. I think these work quite well. I'm just going to go ahead and line my top and bottom waterlines with this. Okay, my eyes have just decided to get really watery all of a sudden for no reason whatsoever. Okay, so ignoring the fact that my eyes have turned into a watery mess, I think that eyeliner works pretty well, super intense, super pigmented, and it glides on very nicely. I really like it. Probably look even better if my eyelids had not just started watering for some reason. I have no idea if that's anything to do with the eyeliner, or I think I might have just poked something in my eye when I was doing it. Okay, so next we've got mascara, and I am very excited about this one. This one I believe came out pretty recently. It's from Gosh. It's the Vibrating Mascara Turn Me On, Longer Lashes and Separation. And I kind of did just get it because the name was very raunchy. The fact that it was called a vibrating mascara, I kind of just thought that was like a kind of sex word, play on words thing. But no, this actually vibrates. So you take this lid at the top off, and then there's like a button, and like it actually like makes the wand vibrate. So this is what the wand looks like, and then you press the top, and can you hear it? It vibrates. You press it again, it does it even more. You press it again, it does it even more. So yeah, you can change the level of intensity of it, and then you can turn it off by pressing it another time. So this is very intriguing. I'm not really sure if it vibrating is going to help it perform better anyway, or if it's just like a gimmicky thing, but nonetheless I'm very intrigued by this mascara. So I guess I'll use it with the vibration on. I mean, you might as well. Go on the maximum setting, shall we? And yeah, we're just doing this. It feels really weird. I'm not sure I like that feeling. Okay, I kind of don't like how it feels. Right, let's put it on a lower setting. Right, I'm gonna see what it's like without the vibration on, because it's kind of freaking me out, not gonna lie. Okay, so this mascara does require quite a bit of building, but I think in the end it does give you quite a bit of volume and length. I mean, that looks pretty good. Let's try it out on the other eye. Obviously I've turned the vibration off because I don't know about that really. I don't know if that actually helps, but it's also a little bit irritating for me. Can we just talk about the fact that a lot of brands of makeup make their mascaras have very sexual names, and I don't know why. Like, I'm not hating on it or anything, but what is it about mascaras in particular that require these like extra kind of raunchy names? I personally find it quite amusing, but what is it about mascaras? Okay, so that's how the lashes are turned out. I actually quite like them. I think that there's some good volume and length there. It does take quite a while to build it up. Again, with mascaras, I tend to like them the more I use them, so this may be the case with this one as well. Don't know about the vibration thing. I think it's a bit of a gimmick, and I don't know if it helps improve the application, and I found it a little bit irritating on my eyes. I will try it again at some point with the vibration on, but I think my eyes are just a bit irritated right now for some reason. Why have my eyes gotten irritated all of a sudden? Is it the makeup, or is it just my eyes? Yeah, overall I actually quite like how the lashes are turned out. They're pretty good. It's not my like favourite mascara ever in terms of how my lashes look, but I think it's done a pretty good job. So we'll leave our eyes alone for now and move on to some base products. I didn't get any primers because I don't need any primers. Right, so I'm going to move on to some colour correction before I do my foundation. So I got 3 of the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Concealers. I got 2 colour correctors and then 1 skin toned one, which I'll use after foundation. But the 2 colour correctors I got is the... So I got the green colour corrector and I got the yellow colour corrector. That is what they look like there. The yellow is very yellow. It's definitely not like a really pale yellow. It's kind of just a very yellow. The green one does look a bit more pastel-y in tone. But yeah, when it comes to colour correctors, I tend to go for yellow and green ones. I like to use yellow under my eyes and green ones on like blemishes and red areas on my face because I got quite a lot of them. I have previously used the lavender one of these exact concealers, and I remember really liking that one. That was quite a while ago though. I think I use it to like highlight and stuff. I think these are £6 as well, so they're not too expensive. I'm using this sponge from B that I've just wetted, and I do find that sometimes when you use wet sponges they can take away the coverage of like base products a bit, so just bear that in mind when I'm trying these out. I'm going to use the yellow one just for my under eye area. It is very yellow. It's definitely not like a super pastel-y yellow, which I tend to like, but if it does the job, then it does the job. So, I mean, it hasn't like completely disappeared or anything, but I can still see quite like a bit of purple in this bit here coming through. Again, like what I said about the sponge, that I can take away the coverage a bit, but I definitely don't think this is super like full coverage because I can still see my like bags here. I might lay it up a little bit more just in that area there where I've got the most purple. I mean, that has built up a bit, but I have to say the Collection Lemon shade I think does a bit of a better job than this one, which is a little bit disappointing. It has done something though, it's not terrible, don't get me wrong. Let's try out the green one now and see how that one performs. So I'm just going to put this one on kind of all of the kind of areas where I've got kind of like blemishes and redness, which is quite a lot of my face to be honest. My skin is just not having a great time at the moment. I'll probably also pop a bit on my nose. I'm just not having a good skin time right now. I feel like this one already looks like it's going to be a bit better coverage than the yellow one, which is weird because shouldn't they be the same formula? We are looking very green. Okay, let's blend this one out. Yeah, this green one already seems to have more coverage than the yellow. I don't know if there's anything to do with like the colouring, like maybe. I feel like if it was a more pastel-y yellow, like maybe that would make the pigment better. I don't know anything about like makeup science, so I could just be talking shit, but does the actual colour of the product impact how like pigmented it is? Okay, so this green one works really well. Like, I know I've put way too much on, so let's hope my foundation covers some of this green because I've gone a bit overboard here, but I would say like the actual coverage of it's good. It's definitely like reduced that redness on my face. So yeah, I much prefer this green one to the yellow one. I don't know how, but it's just more pigmented and it just seems to cover better. Oh my god, I look like an actual alien. I really hope that my foundation covers this because this is more green concealer than is necessary for one face. Oh no. Shall we put some foundation over this? Because boy do we need it. All you can see is just yellow and green. So the foundation that I got is this Sleek Life Proof foundation, which is medium to full coverage, and I got the shade LP01. So this came out like a month or so ago. It's a pretty new foundation. This is of course in the lightest shade, but I have found from swatching this that it's not as pale as it could be. I don't know if you can see there, but it has a bit of like an orangey pinky tone to it, which isn't ideal for me. I may actually put a white mixer in. Generally with first impressions I prefer to just use the foundation on its own, but I mean this colour just, it really looks like it needs a white mixer. Sorry if it's really annoying, but I am going to put a little bit of white mixer in with it. Hopefully it won't like alter the consistency too much. Yeah, I'm just going to put a little bit of the LA Girl Pro Coverage White Foundation in with that before I put it on my face. I think Sleek is a brand that's more so like catered for kind of like medium to dark toned skin, so that might explain why their pale shade isn't like super pale. But I do think that's really good that there is a brand that caters to that, because obviously there isn't a lot of them out there, or the ones that are out there don't get a lot of attention, because their foundation does have quite a good shade range from what I've seen. Okay, so I've only put a little bit of white mixer in, so the colour is still a little bit off, but I didn't want to like alter it too much, so if I have got the wrong shade face today, it's okay. Not going out anywhere. So I'm just gonna pack a load of this on my face with a sponge. Oh my god, I really hope this green gets covered. So yeah, if you want some tips on colour correcting, don't put that much on your face. It's really not sensible. Okay, I'm gonna layer up quite a lot of this just because I can still see so much green coming through. Just want to say that this is my fault and not to do with any of the products, so don't get mad at NYX, don't get mad at Sleek, get mad at me, because that is not how you put colour corrector on. I think the shade of foundation actually doesn't look too bad though. Like I feel like even though it looks kind of dark, the swatch, it doesn't look that dark on my actual face. I mean obviously I did put a bit of white mixture in, but I didn't put that much in. So that's weird. Maybe it's one of those kind of skin adapting things. I think I've masked most of the green. If you can see a bit of green still, then you know why. So let's talk about the foundation now. Even though it looks like a really off colour when you swatch it, it seems to look okay when it's on the face. Like it doesn't look really off in colour. I mean I still don't think the undertones are like my correct undertone. This is a little bit too pinky, but it looks okay now, like the colour, and I put barely any white mixer in it. But yeah, actually I quite like the look of this foundation. It's not like a full coverage foundation, I would say it's kind of more medium, but I did also put quite a lot on my face, so it might be more light coverage if you're putting like a minimal amount on. It looks quite fresh, it looks quite natural, but obviously still covers. It's quite a nice foundation actually, I quite like it. If you're looking for something super high coverage, it's not that, but I think for those days when I want a kind of medium coverage foundation, this isn't too bad. And I don't know what's going on with the colour, because it looks okay now but it didn't look okay earlier. I don't know what's going on, guys. I don't know if it's maybe anything to do with how it's blended into the colour correctors, or that may have affected the colour of it as well. Now I'm going to move on to skin toned concealers. So obviously I talked about the NYX Full Coverage Concealer that comes in a pot in Alabaster. I could use that on my face, but I think I'm going to instead use the other one of the Studio Photogenic concealers, and this one is in the shade Alabaster, which, as I mentioned with the pot concealer, is kind of a new shade they brought out recently. It is paler than the one that they had before, which was, I think, Porcelain was the palest they had before, and I've definitely tried that and it was orangey on me, so let's hope this is good. When I swatched it, it seemed good. Definitely has a more yellowy tone, which is good for me. So that's what the shade looks like. Yeah, it is very yellow tone. It's pretty pale. It could be a little bit paler. I mean, I know there are a lot of really extra fair people out there that would need this even paler, but I think that this is a pretty good colour. So I'm just going to pop this under my eyes and on all of the little blemishes on my face and my nose. Basically all the areas that I put the kind of green colour corrector and the yellow colour corrector. I'm basically going over those areas with this. I know I said that I tried the Porcelain shade before, but I honestly can't remember what the formula of these concealers were like. I think they were good. I don't remember like how good coverage they were though, but So this is kind of like a first impression, even though I technically have used it before because I don't really remember. I really like this concealer. I like how it's sitting on the skin. It doesn't look too like thick and heavy, but it has definitely given some coverage. I would say that the NYX Got You Covered concealer gives slightly more coverage, not like massively, but it does give it a little bit more coverage because it's slightly thicker. But this one definitely does have some good coverage. I really like this actually. I think it's sitting on skin really nicely, and it doesn't come out like really like heavy or like clingy. And the colour is pretty good. It's like the perfect undertones to me. Obviously, if you're even lighter than me, this might not work. I kind of just assumed that I was like the lightest of the light, but I've been watching some like YouTubers recently who have even lighter skin than me, and I'm just like, oh dear lord, maybe I'm not the lightest of the light. Overall, my base colour isn't too bad, even though I thought the sleek foundation might be a bit of an issue, but I actually think that the match is pretty good. To set my face, actually I think I will try out that little NYX contour eyeshadow and use that to kind of contour my face, which I prefer to do before I set it. Don't ask me why, I just do. So I'm just getting this kind of angled eyeshadow brush. I like to use something quite small for this, and I like to do my cheekbones, my nose, under my jawline, and a little bit on my forehead, so that is what we'll do. I can never get like the lines even, like it's always like off on one side, because I think like my cheekbones are like in different places on each side of my face. I definitely think that the shade of this is spot on for me, so if you're like a quite fair person and you're looking for like a nice cool tone contour shade, try out this NYX eyeshadow. I think it's called Tryst. Obviously I put the links to all of the products that I tried down below. Let's see how it blends out before we get too excited though. Using the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush to blend, and then I may go in with a sponge if it needs it. Okay, it blends out pretty well as well. So overall, pretty happy with that as a contour. Okay, so I've got two powders to try out. The first one is the NYX HD Finishing Powder in Translucent, and I believe I have actually used this one before, quite a while ago. It is literally just a white translucent powder, and I seem to remember quite liking this. So the other powder that I tried, it's got a bit of a story behind it. So this is the Revlon Colour Stay Powder, and it's in the shade Light, and that's what it looks like in the packaging. Let me get it out of the box. That's what it looks like there. Hello, stupid lights. So basically, I was in Boots just over a week ago, and I saw this exact powder. It said it was like a kind of translucent colour, or it was like a really pale shade anyway, and I was like, oh, I didn't realise that Revlon powder went that pale. I kind of want it now. I didn't get it at the time, but I thought, oh, I'll get it online. So I went on the Boots website, and I couldn't find this powder anywhere on the Boots website. So I went on Superdrug, and they had 3 shades, and one of them was like light, one was like medium, one was like medium dark, I don't even remember. So I kind of just assumed that the one that I saw in Boots was like the light shade. I was skeptical of this, but I kind of thought, okay, maybe it is, I don't know. But this definitely is not the shade that I saw in Boots. The colour of it is definitely not like super pale like the one that I saw. I mean, it is quite a light colour, don't get me wrong. I'm just a little bit skeptical of how this is going to work on my skin tone. I'm not entirely sure it's going to work at all, which is a little bit disappointing because I spent $10.99 on this. But I definitely do want to try that one that I saw in Boots because it's out there. I know it is, and I want it. Do I try this on my face? Do I dare? Am I gonna look orange? Maybe. So after I use our Revlon powder, that may be the point where this makeup is officially ruined, but shall we do it anyway? I think I'll use the NYX powder to set under my eyes, and then we'll try the Revlon one on the rest of my face. Oh dear lord. Help us now. So I'm just using a Real Techniques contour brush here, and I'm gonna get the NYX powder and set my under eyes with this. What? I think I've just put glitter on my eyes. Okay, some random glitter has decided to get under my eyes. So if you can see any glitter in there, just ignore that. Okay, literally there are specks of glitter under my eyes now. Dear Lord, how did this happen? I think it's because in the box where I put all of this new makeup, I spilt some glitter in there at some point, and that was on my fucking face. Okay, I actually really like how this one sets the under eye area. I've been having a lot of issues with powders lately, just looking really like weird in my under eye area. Like they kind of cling to certain areas and it looks quite dry overall. But I don't seem to be having that problem with this one, so that is good. It's always awesome when your under eyes don't look shit when you set them with powder. Can you see the glitter? Probably not, but there is literal glitter under my eyes here. Jesus Christ. Now we will ruin our makeup and try out the Revlon Colour Stay powder and make myself orange. So I am just gonna get my big powder brush and set the rest of my face. I feel like it has made me a bit of an off colour. Not quite as badly as I thought it would, and you probably won't be able to see it on the camera. I don't know, you might be able to a little bit, but it definitely has made my face a little bit orangey. Not ideal. I think that quality of the powder though is pretty good actually, like it's got quite a nice finish to it. Like the actual powder's pretty good, it's just really not a great colour. So bronzer time now, and I've got two products here. So the first thing I got for free, like when I spent like £12 on Revlon products, and it's the Revlon Sculpt and Highlight Contour Kit, and it's in the shade medium/tan. Obviously I would have rather had the lighter shade, but I didn't get to choose, so I had to get the medium shade. It gives you a little, come out. Excuse me. It has a little paper in it, I'm gonna ignore. And that's the shades that you've got in it. So you've got two kind of like bronzy contour shades. Then you've got a highlight and a like banana setting powder. I highly doubt I would use that banana setting powder. It actually kind of looks like the same colour as the Revlon powder. Banana powders aren't really something I reach for. They tend to just look really weird and yellow on my face. Not a good kind of yellow. Don't know, these two shades may work quite well as bronzers on me. And the highlighter doesn't look too dark actually, so this highlighter may work on me. Also got the e.l.f. bronzer in the shade Warm. What that one looks like, it actually looks really nice. You've got like 4 different shades there and you can kind of swirl your brush around and get one shade. I think I'll just use the e.l.f. one because that's the kind of one that I wanted the most. The Revlon one was just a freebie really. So I'm just going to get like a big brush and I'm just going to kind of like swirl it in all of the shades and tap off the excess and pop a bit of this through my cheek area. Let's see what colour we get. Oh my god, this glitter under my eyes is doing my head in. Okay, that's super nice, I like it. It doesn't come out too harsh, I will blend it a little bit though. Yeah, I'm just going to blend it out a little bit, but I think that's pretty nice, I like it. It's not too like intense, it's just really nice and it's got a glow to it as well, which I like in bronzers. I know a lot of people like matte bronzers, but I personally quite like them to have a little bit of a glow in them. I didn't get any blushes to try out, so highlight time now. So I got the NYX Duochromatic Illuminating Powder in Snow Rose. I've tried the Twilight Tint one before, and I really like that one. That's a more blue toned one. This one's more of a, it's like a white with a slight kind of like pinky tone to it. It's super pretty, and when I've swatched it, it's been super pigmented, so I'm excited to see what this one's like on the face. I do think I want to try out the highlight in the Revlon one though as well, so I'll try like one on one side of my face and one on the other. I'm just going to try and get the product off my highlight brush. I'm going to go in with the Revlon highlighter first. Try this one on this side of my face and see how it comes out. It's really annoying when you have like a spot in the area that you highlight, because you kind of don't want to go over it and draw attention to it, but then like, but that's where I put my highlight. I feel like the colour of this is just a little bit dark on me. Okay, it does have a nice sheen to it. Can you see it? It's not the most like bam intense highlight though. But there's definitely a nice little sheen there. but it does have quite a strong like pinky pigment to it, which is a little bit dark for me because I need something a bit more like icier for my skin tone. Don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's not too bad. There's some pigment there. I'm probably going to end up putting the NYX one over the top of that though, just so we're a bit even. But I mean, at least I know what it looks like. So let's try out the NYX highlight now. Need a bit more, I think. Okay, so it is requiring a bit of building, but oh, there is something nice coming through. Yeah, that's really pretty. It's definitely very pink toned. I'm gonna layer over the Revlon one just so that we're like even. Okay, I think that's a super nice highlight. It's not like super bam, like I feel like the Twilight Tint one was a little bit more pigmented than this. But I do really like the colour of this, and I think it looks really nice in the skin. I like it, but I'm not super wowed by it, but I do like it. Just gonna take off the old foundation lips now. So I'm gonna do my eyebrows next, and I've got 2 eyebrow products to try out. So I've got the Revlon Colour Stay Brow Pencil in 225 Soft Black. I thought I'd go for like a quite blacky colour now, because my hair, well my roots anyway, are quite black. So that's what the colour looks like. It's not like completely black, it's more of a like really dark brown colour, which I quite like. I didn't want it to be too intense of a black. And then you also just get your standard spoolie on the other end. And I also got a gel. I got the Gosh Brow Sculpting Fibre Gel with seaweed apparently. And this one's in the shade Chestnut. It's just a quite chocolatey brown colour. Don't know if these 2 products are the same colour, but whatever. Yeah, it just comes on a little one like this, and that's what the colour looks like. It's just a standard dark brown colour. I'm just going to brush through my brows quickly with a clear gel just before we go in with any of those products. Okay, we're going to go in with the brow pencil now and try our best to fill these brows in. I actually really like this because, as you can see, it doesn't come out like too harsh, and that's good for a brow pencil because they often do tend to. That's come out so like soft, and I really like the colour of it. Yeah, I'm super impressed with this pencil actually. It's really easy to use. I'm gonna go with the spoolie on the other side and just lightly push through that. I'm feeling this brow pencil. I like that. Okay, so we're gonna go in with the brow sculpting gel. This probably is going to be a different colour to the brows, so I don't know what this is going to look like, but whatever. We're just going to go in and set those brows with that. Okay, so that brow gel's done a really good job too. Again, it doesn't come out too harsh. The colour is definitely different to the brow pencil, so not ideal. It's definitely more of a rich chocolatey colour, which, I mean, like, I kind of like to alternate between my brow colours. Sometimes I'll go dark and sometimes I'll go light, and also I'm always changing my freaking hair colour as well, so I feel like for different occasions both of these colours would kind of work. Overall, I'm happy with this brow. It just looks really good. It doesn't come, it's not like too harsh and blocky, it's just fairly natural. As natural as drawing on your brows can be. Go back to our eye area now. I think I want to try out the glitter, and I think I'll try and put it in the inner corners of my eyes. I'm going to get the NYX glitter primer. I think I'll just use my finger and pop a little bit in there. Okay, I put a little bit of the primer on my inner corner. Jesus Christ. Let's try and see if we can get this glitter into the inner corner without making a huge ass mess. Using this really small eyeshadow brush. Okay, that's worked. Probably got a bit too much on there. I love the colour. Right, so let's try again on the other eye. Damn, that is cool. And for the sake of trying out all of the eyeshadows, shall we put the neon yellow under my eyes? I think we should. Okay, so we're going with the colour Psychedelic. I'm just using this little brush here, and I'm gonna put a bit of this under my lower lash line. yellow. Pretty good pigment. This looks absolutely insane. Let's go back in with this vibrating mascara on our lower lash lines. I might build it up a little bit on the top as well. Again, I ain't gonna use the vibration on it because I've not got time for that in my life right now. Definitely a bit of an eye extravaganza we've got going on here, but I'm kind of feeling it. Okay, so we've just got lips to try out now, and I've got one lipstick here. This is the Bourjois Rouge Edition lipstick, I'm guessing, in 02 Beige Trench, and it's just a very nudie colour. It's a very nudie colour, quite pink toned. Thought it looked pretty good. Just something that I would wear on a more regular basis. Can't get enough of a nice nude bullet lip. So, shall we go in? It's a beautiful colour. I really like the colour. It's like a kind of your lips but better colour. Nice for my skin tone. I like it. It is very glossy, so I would prefer it to be a bit more matte, but I still like it quite a lot. I think I'll get quite a lot of wear out of this. And obviously to mattify it, you could just dab a bit of powder in it, but so this is a finished look. Shall I just clean up this mascara mess first, and then we'll talk about the products. So this is the finished look, so I'll just give you my final verdict on all of the products that I've tried. So the NYX Full Coverage Concealer worked pretty well as a primer for my eyes. Colour is very good for my yellowy toned pale skin, so bear that in mind if you've got also yellow toned and pretty pale. Yes, I am interested to see what this is like as a regular concealer as well, but I will have to save that for another day. Okay, so the eyeshadows. I've got some mixed opinions on the eyeshadows here. So, when I was trying to get rid of the mascara off my eyes, I don't know if you to see, but that green is basically like kind of come off my eyes. And I also found that with the yellow as well that I've put under my eyes. So that's these two shadows here, which is such a shame because I absolutely adore the colours of these. I do find that initially you can get good pigment with them, it's just they kind of blend away into nothing if you're not careful. So I do feel like you could get a look out of them, but you just have to be very careful with them. It's not ideal. They are quite cheap eyeshadows now, so so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but I mean, the prismatic shadows, so I've got the purple one and the white one, I think are more pigmented and worked better, particularly the purple one. This has got amazing pigment. As you can see on my eyes, it's still looking good. This is definitely a good quality eyeshadow, and I think the white one works well. You can still see a little bit of the shimmer coming through under my brows. We're interested to see what this is like on the centre of the lid or somewhere else on my eyes. The shade here worked pretty good as an eyeshadow, very pigmented, very buttery in texture, and it also worked amazingly as a contour for my skin tone, so that is great. Yeah, so mixed opinions on the eyeshadows. Some are good, some a little bit disappointed with. So the pencil eyeliner, the Bourjois Ombre Smoky, I really liked. My eyes started watering when I was putting it on for some reason. Don't know if that was related to the eyeliner or if I just got something in my eye. Probably I got something in my eye. But very pigmented, glides on very nicely. Great little eyeliner, nothing bad to say. And the Gosh Turn Me On Vibrating Mascara, I'm not sure about the vibration aspect of it, but it's a pretty good mascara. It's given me some decent volume, some decent length. It's not my favourite mascara ever, but I think it will grow on me the more I use it. So the colour correctors, the yellow one I'm not so sure about because it didn't cover my purple under eyes as much as I thought it would. I do tend to prefer more pastel-y toned yellows. This one's quite like a rich kind of custardy yellow. Not even custard. Custard's not the right word for that, is it? It's like, what would you describe this colour as? It's a more garish kind of yellow colour. I definitely prefer my Collection Lemon shade for under eye correcting. The green one I think worked pretty good though, despite the fact that I put a ridiculous quantity of it on my face. I do feel like this one had better coverage and better pigment to it and worked much better as a colour corrector than the yellow one. For some reason, even though they really should be the same formula because they're the same thing. Sleek Foundation was pretty good too. It's not my favourite foundation ever, but I think it did a decent job. The colour seems off, but on my face it wasn't as bad. It was a bit confusing really, that whole colour situation. But yeah, I quite like this foundation. Quite a fan of the NYX HD Studiogenic concealer, the skin toned one in Alabaster. I'm really impressed with the colour of this. I also think it's got a pretty good formula as well. It's got pretty good coverage and it sits on the skin really nicely. I feel like the NYX Got You Covered one's a little bit better coverage, but I like how this one sits on the skin better than that one, so that one's better for coverage, this one's better for finish in my opinion. Okay, so the powders. I really like the NYX HD Finishing Powder. I think it did a really good job at staying my under eyes, doesn't affect the colour, doesn't leave you with a weird white cast, and it didn't cling to anything and look really dry and weird like most powders have been doing to my under eyes lately, so super happy with this. Revlon Colour Stay, however, it has made me look a bit orange, which is a shame because the formula of the powder is actually pretty good. It's just very yellow on me, so I don't think I'm going to reach for it at all, which is a shame because I spent $10.99 on it. But I am going to find this translucent one that I saw in Boots the other week because I want it. I need it. The e.l.f. bronzer I really like. I think this has done a great job of just giving me some warmth and glow to the face, and it blends out very nicely, and I'm super happy with this. This is probably one of my favourites. Not sure how much use I'll get out of this like Revlon contour kit. I only used the highlighter, and the highlighter didn't blow my mind, to be honest, but I do want to try these two bronzer shades at some point because I think they could work as bronzers on me. I don't think I'll get much use at all out of the banana powder though. The NYX Durochromatic highlight was pretty good. To be honest, I was expecting a little bit more from it because of how good I remember the Twilight tint one being. It does have some pigment and it does look nice, but it just needs a lot of building and it's just not as intense as some other highlights I've used, which is a bit of a letdown, but I mean it's not a bad highlighter, it is still pretty nice. I do like the tone of it. I'm impressed with the eyebrow products. I think the Revlon brow pencil was really good, I really like it, and the eyebrow gel is really good too. They're completely different colours, so I probably wouldn't necessarily use them together, but I mean like I feel like the colour looks alright, and these are probably some of the better products I've tried this month, so yes, love these. The lipstick is pretty good too. So, I would say my favourite products that I've tried is the NYX HD Finishing Powder, the e.l.f. Warm Bronzer, the two eyebrow products, the Revlon Brow Pencil and the Gosh Brow Sculpting Gel, and also I would say the NYX HD Photogenic Concealer in Alabaster. I would say that those are my top 5 from this video. I forgot about the glitter pigment. I love this. I mean, look how intense it is. It's awesome. Yes, this glitter pigment is also up there. This is great. I'll be doing a full face of NYX makeup very soon because I feel like I have enough products now to achieve a full face. They'll be coming soon. Also, I've just recently ordered loads of the new Makeup Obsession products off Tam Beauty, so I'm going to do a video trying like all of those new products that I've brought. There's some concealers, some eyeshadows, some like a blush bronzer highlight palette, there's all sorts of stuff. So that video will be up soon. That's it for this video, so here's the finished look. It's very weird, but there you go. So thanks for watching and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!